Yo, spontaneous video here. I would just estimate I have about 10 or 20 minutes worth of things that it'll take me to verbalize, even though just like thinking about this stuff was like 5 minutes. Uh, okay, that was not intentional. Alright, so I don't know if I would say the main theme. As of just now, I'm looking for a new Kid Rock song that was trending on YouTube all the way up into the top 10. That's really saying something. The theme of this is, do you feel old yet? It's a meme. They'll say like such and such happened when this year, whatever, do you feel old yet? And I thought of that earlier today when I was researching Creedence Clearwater Revival. I don't know how to put that into words like extremely succinctly. Like everything that I really like is from the previous millennium. So it's the third millennium. You know, the 1900s were the end of the second millennium. So they were like very, very, party like it's the end of the millennium, right? Like even greater than the end of the century. So whatever. New pet as of today, and that is a wasp. I just want to very briefly show, not a whole lot in here. Looks like a razor, can of worms, and he's at the bottom left. He's actually missing an arm. I just want to get a close up on that missing arm. My first or second pet wasp ended up deceased from, it was actually this, okay, so now it's not closing. There's also like a banana. Alright, well I messed up his little house, and now he's all messed up. So now we can see he has no arm. He has no right arm. Whatever. He'll be alright. I don't think he'll fall. One of my pet wasps was caught up in this fleece. It's kind of like a fleece. It's really comfortable. And I had found it a few days later just trapped. It was just trapped. I didn't know where it was. I just assumed it was one of the big paper wasps. And those are red, traditionally. I'm just thinking of the song, the Kid Rock song, the recent one, called No One's Gonna Tell You How to Live. And whatever I just typed is shown there. And here are very similar songs, apparently. I think that, I don't know, here it is right here. Here's the song. Okay. And there's one particular quote that I quoted in my video gaming video just a few days ago. Well, let me first say that meme again. So, in one of my videos, it's like a jazzercise to the Beastie Boys' License to Ill album. If I'm not mistaken, the year 1986, the year I was born was 1988. And so if, like the idea is, if my favorite album was 2 years before I was born, and it features samples from Creedence Clearwater Revival song, Led Zeppelin songs, I don't know what other bands off the top of my head right now. Anyway, so when I finally discovered what Creedence Clearwater Revival song it is, it's the one that goes bum 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 bum, down on the corner, out here in the street. Anyways, so when I was just listening to the Led Zeppelin song that was recommended, it was growing up when I was a teenager and just starting to understand classic rock, and learning to play guitar and stuff. That was one of my favorite songs, even though I never learned to play it on guitar. I could play many, many Led Zeppelin songs. And Jimmy Page, guitarist, great guitarist, actually mentioned on Beastie Boys' License to Ill album. You know who else is mentioned in this book right here is Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I was looking at this, and it's like Ralph Waldo. I can't think of it right now. Amerson, like aiming. And he is the mentor of my cousin Henry David Thoreau, who's mentioned in the first book in this trilogy, 48 Laws. His quote was in the 4th chapter on page 40, if I'm not mistaken. Alfred Hitchcock, no. The Wind, yes, page 40. Oh, strategy 3 at the bottom left. Page 40. Authority. A great part of courage is the courage of having done the thing before. So that harkens back to George Clooney quote from Three Kings movie. We three kings of Orient are, of course, Christmas song, bearing gifts. We've traveled so far to tell baby Jesus he's the son of God and everything. So that was a movie. Ice Cube, George Clooney, Jamie Kennedy, and I think there was a third, like, large name actor. Anyways, he says, so he's telling like an injured soldier, you get the courage or confidence, like, let's just say singing karaoke when you get up on stage. There's no way to like psych yourself up, in order to have the confidence to do something like that. He's like, you get the courage as you do the thing. Whatever. It's the same Emerson quote. And so the next vlog that I planned on making, because I haven't done any videos in a few days, was, I sort of joined an online fraternity when I was my first year of college, just out of high school, in a self-development community. That's how I found Robert Greene author books. And it's sort of like hardcore self-help development, whatever. Kind of like rap music versus any other type of music. Maybe rock music, maybe popular music. Comparison could be comparable. So, my cousin Henry David Thoreau and his mentor of 20 years, his elder, both of them were Harvard attendants in the early 19th century. That's the 1800s, and probably two of the most significant people to ever attend Harvard. I could go on and on about. I was listening to Yale professor giving lectures on this, and they were like the two guys talking trash in letters to southern states, but preceding the American Civil War, and likely had a huge impact on the start of the South secession. I don't want to get into it. It's multiple lectures from a Yale professor historian in the history department there. It's Ivy League type stuff. Anyways, how does that relate to what I'm talking about though? I was just looking at this, and what's funny about that though is that Emerson is in the War book, where it's sort of like those are his initials, Ralph Waldo Amerson. If it was spelled with an A instead of an E, kind of like Amerson. He's doing all right. He was seriously injured earlier. There's also a can of worms in there. Whatever. So let me go back to YouTube and further explain. Okay. There's one particular part in this Kid Rock song when he says, "You're like Mayberry, B-word. I'm hard and crisp. You're like Milli Vanilli, kind of silly and S-word." I'm just whatever, censoring myself. So the reason that I said that in my video game video was, here's my two most recent videos. They're on both Facebook and YouTube. This one is called The Fresh Prince of Professing. It's not on YouTube or on Facebook. It is on YouTube. This one is on both. And all the rest are on both, I think. So the title of this one is Merry Christmas for This, And this one is happy birthday for this in relation to, oh, I didn't upload this to either one. Should I show that? I'll go ahead and show that. I'm about to mention Money Talks song, AC/DC. You know, that's also a movie, You Know This Man. Maybe referencing Claude Monet, the painter, not to be confused with the impressionist painter who removed his own ear. So kind of like Monet talks and the other one listens. Oh, okay. So I had always wanted to rap this song. I changed some of the lyrics around. I think I might have found the deeper meaning to that scene in whatchamacallit in the movie. Whoa. I think, yeah, because the way that I looked in this video, that's really bad though. That's probably why I didn't upload it. I don't know if I made 2 attempts or what. So anyways. Okay, so this video is full of Bar with the Boss song. Okay, Kid Rock. Counterfeit music. It's a different band from the Philippines. Even though they're great. They're one of my favorite bands, to be quite honest. Here's the Counterfeit Money with more counterfeit music of AC/DC Money Talks. Different bands. What is it? There's one particular part of this. It's like a business instructional course 101. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button, so I shouldn't even press play. Right. There's so much that I could add to a commentary for this. I'll go ahead and add the camera. Okay. That's how I like prepared my hair for this camera angle, and it looks like it's like not very great. I could like brush my hair. Oh, I'm gonna mess up all my hair. I have to look in the mirror. It's so bad. I have to put on my hat. Yo, I'm gonna turn off the screen. This is so bad. It's a spontaneous video. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure out a good hairstyle. Okay, so I feel less insecure now. This particular scene, there's a thing on the wall that says Blarney. Kind of like the name Barney with an L could be a reference to Barney, the character from The Simpsons, not to be confused with the Jetsons. And you know, he always hangs out at the bar, like the sitcom Cheers, where everybody knows your name, and also a reference to another sitcom from the 60s, Barney, the under sheriff or deputy of Andy Griffith, the sheriff of Mayberry. And Mayberry is referenced in Kid Rock's song where he says, "You're like Mayberry, B-word, I'm hard and crisp," and he holds up money. And you know, I have the Money Talk song playing in this video. Another related video is, I'll just point to it. I don't know for sure. It's one of these Max Payne videos. I mean, I think it's this one. I don't know. I'm trying to think, what is that? Oh, that was for like a company, a startup company that I started working for. That video is good. I think I was watching that earlier today. I'm almost certain this is the one that shows instruments with the song Money Talks here, and like Max Payne's hitting his bat into the drums. And so I kind of recreated that scene from Max Payne in this most recent video on both YouTube and Facebook at this particular point. Oh, that was the Barney sign. I think she had, no, actually no, this green sign right here, it says Blarney. That's actually a city in Ireland, and also the name of Barney, the character from Andy Griffith's show, deputy of Mayberry, not to be confused with Mayfield, and the cyclone, like the largest cyclone in world history or something. And the word sounds so similar to motorcycle. Cyclone, motorcycle. It's like, I don't know. the thing is that the names of motorcycle clubs, they're not like sports teams. They're like real like people, mythological people. Um, I'm not going to mention any names. So the cyclones wouldn't work. So instead of the pistons, that's a part of a combustion engine. I'm just in the last couple hours had listened to the song "Come Bust a Move," from 1989, whatever, and also Wayne's World, Noah's Arcade commercial rap, where the founder of Noah's Arcade fictional company, Wayne's World movie, Saturday Night Live movie, Mike Myers, Dana Carvey as Garth Algar, aka Columbus, and Wayne Campbell, aka Amerigo Vespucci, founders, discoverers of America, Italian explorers, where America's, in the New World, both North and South Americas get most of their given names, from Colorado to Columbia to District of Columbia to Florence, Italy, Florida, where Vespucci was from. A big part of my last name, Petrino, is shared with Vespucci, whatever. What else? Well, I'm just thinking because he has a broken arm, my wasp. The first one that I ever kept as a pet had a broken wing. Reminds me of that Jimi Hendrix song, Little Wing. And I sort of made a fake fun video where it looks like she's wearing a wingsuit there, even though it's like a racing suit, where I had this jacket on and pretended like I only had one arm as a joke. But it's not a joke for him, because he only actually has one arm. You can't, I don't know if it can be like clearly seen that he only has one arm. Alright, he has his left arm. And so Little Wing, wingsuit, whatever, that goes along with this. A lot of my videos go along with that wasp. It's just that in that Led Zeppelin song, the whole reason that I'm recording this video was I can't talk to myself when I was growing up as when I was a teenager. The thing is that, I don't know. Let me talk about the song "Hey Hey What Can I Do?" Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Bonham, John Paul Jones, 4 members of Led Zeppelin. I'm not sure what album it's on. One thing that I noticed after listening to it all these years later, it was always the song that like hit me in my feelings like the hardest. Not like my tooth feelings, like internal feelings. And I was gonna say internal combustion engine, just thinking about she had named her motorcycle club. That's how she got involved with counterfeiting money. In Los Santos, in the fictional game, the pistons are like the part of the engine that provides the force. It's sort of like a punching arm, kind of like that. That's what drives a motor vehicle. Even electric powered vehicles have pistons. So I'm gonna just go out on a limb and assume that. I don't know for sure. There could be water powered, hydraulic, fluid, piston powered. It wouldn't even have to be combustion, with whatever. And there was a man associated with the Italian-American mob named Joe Pistone. I'm not going to say he was a good man. He was like a great man. Or he still is. Fortunately, or not. Grazia. Mucho disgrazia, Joe Pistone, a.k.a. Donnie Brasco. People would recognize him from the actual guy who the movie was based on. I would say, like in most cases, disgrazia, Joe Pistone, except for Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola, are like even bigger like turncoats than former West Point Academy attendant and graduate and eventual U.S. federal agent Joe Pistone. he just happens, never mind. He just so happens to share the same first and last initials of my mother, and Justice, not Department, Justice something. Anyways, so his name Pistone is most similar to two words, piston and pissed ones. So it could be the name of the club, Pissed Ones. And so here's where the brawl starts at the bar fight. And the bar fight is mentioned first, before anywhere that I've found yet, in Led Zeppelin's Hey Hey What Can I Do? Robert Plant says, he never says the word you in his entire song. Most songs, the song is a heartbreaker. Even though Led Zeppelin has a very great rock and roll song titled Heartbreaker, it's not, like, the more heartbreaking song is actually Hey Hey What Can I Do? Most songs, whether they be rock and roll or anything else, involve the word you. I just noticed as I'm just listening, probably the first time in like multiples of 5 years, like many years, I haven't even heard that song. It just happened to show up in my recommended feed. I clicked it without realizing what it was, and then when it started playing, I just sort of like started tripping out. I was like, wow, I haven't heard this since I was like a teenager. Anyways, the biggest part, I already made a commentary in the Kid Rock song. The title is "No One's Gonna Tell You How to Live," but what is so significant is what he or Monster Truck, there's two guys in the song, they say, "No one's gonna tell me how to live," and the significance is no one really told me how to live either. It's like everyone sort of has to figure it out on their own. And I could try, like professors, this is what they try to do. No one man can like explain the entirety of human knowledge. People have to specialize in different subjects, whether they be a historian, or whatever other subjects are important at a university, like science and medicine and law, right? So no one person, even if they wanted to, could easily explain stuff that's been argued for centuries and thousands of years. And especially not in one 1-hour video. So it takes a course, multiple 1-hour lectures, stuff like that. I'm so off track, like it's sort of unbelievable. Just trying to think of what I was saying. Oh, so in Led Zeppelin's song, "Hey, what can I do?" What does he say? He says, Robert Plant says, like the most hard-hitting, heartbreaking lyric of the song is when he says, "I got a woman, she won't be true." It is another way of saying, here's where like as an adult, like what he's sort of encoded. Oh, the album is Coda, so here's what he's like I'm trying to decode what he'd said. It's CODA. One of my friends on PlayStation had the name Coda, CODA, and I was like, oh, that must be the Led Zeppelin album. I'm familiar with that album. And he said, no, it stands for Kiss Old Days Ass. That's what he told me. And so I was like, okay, like it's a C, not a K. What's up with that? It was like a elderly guy on PlayStation, whatever. I don't know if whatever. So what was the lyric that I just said? I'm just trying to think. Robert Plant says in the song, "I got a woman, she won't be true." What it means is something that I learned in self-development is the self is always shining through. So no matter what I'm feeling, like internally thinking in my brain, it's always going to be like apparent to people who know me or people like me. So if anyone who's like me, if someone knows someone who's even resembling to my behavior, my personality, my different traits, Italian American, whatever, other things about me, there's no way, okay, so I got a woman, she won't be true. It's more like I had that game. Like, I could have had that. So now I'm quoting Birdman from Bling Bling in the song. He says, "Playboy, I had that game." That's not what he says. He says, "Playboy, I had bad luck," in radio version. And he points to his ear when he says, "And my Rolex bezeled up, pinky rings, platinum plus, grill be slugged up, my heart filled with anger." Song Heartbreaker, Led Zeppelin. Earrings, trillion cut, and he makes this. Is it like that? I don't know. When I was doing Come Bust a Move, I just made these like real, like the weirdest like hand move positions I had ever made, and just held them for the whole song, and like moved my arms around. Never done that for any other song. Anyways, I have more stuff to mention about Van Halen. That scene in Back to the Future when Marty McFly dresses up in the space suit or the time travel suit, whatever it may be, to protect from the plutonium, and he goes in to his dad in the past and puts these headphones on with Van Halen in the tape player, and he presses play. I was just trying to think what's similar in the 1980s to what I have holding my phone here. I'll show it on the camera. Because this is a weird motion that I sort of have to do. That's me looking at myself. This cord is it's like a web. So I already have not there. I have this contraption at where the plug is. I've got to focus. There's this contraption. I've had these headphones for over a year. They were only $15. They're Logitech headphones. Anyway, so here's like what I do naturally. Like, it's such a habit. I grab it here, and then I sort of make an extra loop. And I don't know if people find it, and it's like an intimidating motion. And so I did that, and I was thinking maybe this could be like a Walkman. And I just put in the cassette tape of Van Halen, and it was a song "Running with the Devil," and whatever. I'm gonna try to mention that in a minute in my YouTube history. So. Okay. So the self is always shining through. Back to Emerson's quote about confidence and I don't know what to say, unease, insecurity, stuff like that. It's just like a weight that's lifted when I know that like there's nothing I can really do to hide how I feel like on the inside. Like what can you do? Hey, what can you do? I got a woman and I'm afraid to tell her the truth. What's funny and ironic is that like a more mature person is gonna know that there's no need to like even say anything, whatever, because the self is always shining through, like, that's all. So, body language experts, expand on that. I don't know. I don't know too much about that. I know enough. It's a big part of self-development. Sub-communication. Someone who's gonna be a boss has gotta be an expert at nonverbal, nonviolent warnings and communication, and intricate channels of how leaders communicate with their subjects. What do you want to go? Insubordinates. Because when a subordinate detects that there is a nonverbal warning happening for the whole team, and if they raise an alarm, it's going to affect morale, and it's just going to get worse and worse for everybody involved. So a good team player, a good boss, has to be well-versed in dishing out and receiving, pinging, whatever, uploading and downloading nonverbal communication. So, in other words, dancing. Like Tony Danza, Who's the Boss TV show sitcom. I've mentioned like 6 sitcoms. I don't know, it's just weird. But So anyways, so let me go back to Blarney. Andy Griffith is the sheriff, like Tom Hanks' character in Toy Story. Woody, there's a snake in my boot. He's like a pull cord toy. And Buzz Lightyear at infinitum, to infinity and beyond, his tagline. He doesn't have a pull cord. He's battery powered. And Tim Allen's voice of that. What about it? They both have written on their boot the name Andy. So like Andy Griffith, Woody's the sheriff. So that's what it's ultimately about. Kid Rock's song has a lot of Toy Story symbolism. They churn out those movies like once a month now. Toy Story was like very impactful. For 20 years, Toy Story was the biggest animated movie. Maybe there were some larger video games. I don't know. I don't want to go into that rabbit hole. Oh, just in the last couple hours, I discovered Grand Theft Auto. Was it in the Come Bust a Move or Bust a Move song? He says like, everything I got, I had to steal. No, that's Running with the Devil, though. Running with the Devil Van Halen song is where Grand Theft Auto gets its name. Everything I got, I had to steal. That's what David Lee Roth says. And David Lee Roth is mentioned like the 3 lyrics after when he says, I'm going to start from the beginning. He says, you like Mayberry B-word? I'm hard and crisp like Cash. I got more something than the Vegas Strip. You like Milli Vanilli, kind of Sicilian and S-word. Something, I'm like David Lee Roth or MC Run from Run DMC. They run the DNC. And Christmas in Hollis, whatever. I'm leaving out a whole lot. It's a great song. Definitely check it out. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he wrote it in 2016, but just made the music video for it. And now it's trending in the top 10 on YouTube in the last month or so. Is that enough? Can I just run through this part real quick? I made a lot of mistakes in this video. When it says that she has some of the business supplies, I'm pretty sure that's all that she had. She was like greedy or whatever. My character, Deb, she should have quit while she was ahead and in this brawl. Because I got notified that she collected some of the business supplies. And maybe I can show that when it happens. I think it's at the bottom left. I was surprised. I didn't know that there was anyone in that room where the pool table is. So like at this point is when she collects the supplies and she should just get out of there. But no, she just like keeps fighting more fights and everything. Kind of ruined the video, kind of didn't. The part with Blarney though, that's probably enough. It's just kind of hard to navigate over here. This part with Blarney, we'll see. It's that green on the wall right here, this part. I think this is all the time. And I would ask him to check I can't even remember what button is to dodge. Blarney. You're like Mayberry, bitch. But what does Robert Plant say in his song? He talks about a bar fight in his song. And it's actually in Kid Rock's music video. There is a bar fight as he's saying that. It's like the same setting. It's so strange. That's why I have it pulled up, hopefully, over here. Right here in this song. That's at the bar when he says that. And it's the funniest part is he gets worked up. He says, I'm more like Brad Pitt. Like that. Like someone like they get upset about that. Like people arguing about, like, would you rather be like Brad Pitt or who's the rival of Brad Pitt? Will Smith? It's like, you're more like Will Smith. I'm more like Brad Pitt. What? Like, it's so funny that guys fight over stuff like this. And online, like I said, I joined a virtual fraternity my first year of college. It doesn't really have a name outside the self-development community or pickup artist community, whatever you want to call it. It was sort of a cult, and the last 4 years or so, I've deprogrammed out of it, although I still got a whole lot of respect for my teachers, former teachers and stuff. I don't know what to say. About that. So let me go into my history. What does Robert Plant say in this song? Comments are turned off, 16 million views. Hey, what can you do? When there's a woman and you're afraid to tell her the truth. It's so funny. Because the self is always shining through. And a whole lot of other things. A whole lot of great self-development quotes are packed into this song. I would have to go through it and like read the lyrics. My hair keeps getting my eye though. I'm just trying to think. What does he say? He says, guys in a bar drinking and remembering the times. There's a visual in the Kid Rock music video of a guy like drinking and remember the times. I don't know what to say. Okay, so let me go backwards. Here's, I don't know, in the last 2 to 3 hours, I already mentioned this, where Grand Theft Auto gets its name, in my opinion, the video game. Because with Rockstar games, it's sort of like a riddle to figure out. Each game has its origin in one single rock song more than any other song. For example, GTA Vice City, where Tommy Vercetti, I don't want to get into it. It's the song Eric Burden and War, the band. Not to be confused with War, the book, Robert Greene, though. I wanted to make this a thumbnail that says, from the author of the 48 Laws of Power. I wanted to make that one of my thumbnails on one of my videos. I think it'd be funny. Counterfeit. I gotta quit joking about counterfeit stuff. It's some serious business, though. Serious government business. They don't take that very lightly. When I say they, respect. Grazia. So, what else? There was a song that mentioned a lyric of Goodfellas. The movie title Goodfellas is from, I think it might be this song. Goodfellas, Drinking and Remember the Times. One of the songs on this list, I'm almost certain, is where Goodfellas gets his title. Eddie Van Halen, in the opening verse before the first chorus, says, everything I got, I had to steal. That's what GTA is all about. Max Payne is House of Pain, band, song, jump around, and more than anything else, whatever. Noah's Arcade, I already explained that. That's a full-on song. I'm gonna jam to it right now.
Noah, I gotta tell you, I love you on the couch.
Think that.
Wayne, did you know that Noah does all his own commercials?
Yeah, I got a new one where I rap. Combust to move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's.
Still going, or?
Arcade. Combust to move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade. Combust to move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade. Combust to move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade. Combust to move, bust, chill, fresh, Noah's Arcade. Bust to move, bust, chill. chill, fresh.
Ass Victor says what?
I'm a millionaire. Bust a move. Bust, chill, fresh. Noah's Arcade. Bust a move. Bust, chill, fresh.
Ass Victor says what?
I'm a millionaire. What do you think of that? Come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade. Come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade. Come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade. Come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade.
What?
I'm posing there. That makes me a poser. Oh. Okay. Here is Bust a Move song, 1989. I was wondering if that was a mid-90s song, but apparently no, it's a late 80s song. Whatever. I was thinking about, I had referenced that in relation to Saturday Night Live's like hip-hop Christmas nativity theater play or something. Whatever, I just jumbled a bunch of words. Yep, Major Pain, movie soundtrack. Apparently, these are two songs that they have a clean version, radio version, and then a CD version. And, it's clear when someone tries to do a karaoke what song that they prefer. Do they prefer the radio version? That's what I'm used to. Rather, I like the clean version, whatever. And that's all. I referenced this in multiple videos, and then I watched a music video. I was very sheltered when it comes to music videos growing up. I didn't have MTV and VH1 until 2007. And so I've had a whole lot of catching up to do. That song though, I'm just trying to think, dance move, because at one point in the song, it's like, it sounds like an alarm, like a siren. So like the dance move would kind of be like with both hands, like like it's like really loud. And at the beginning of Kid Rock's song, it's also a similar thing. I don't want to get it. There's so much stuff about dancing and everything. Is that at the end of the list? What can you say? This is a great song. But that's the counterfeit version. Here is watched quite a few scenes. Here's where Max Payne, the movie that is most like Max Payne is this one. I think preceded it previously. 2 years before the Max Payne 1 game and Rockstar Games. What am I doing with this silly hat? Kind of silly and shit. Is that all? I'm pretty sure that's all. Except for the one part of the Kid Rock music video. I don't know Kid Rock's real name. It's just random. I'm gonna have to check it out. So back to Creedence Clearwater Revival. In a Beastie Boys song, they sample. Oh come on, did I really lose it? It's gonna show me random stuff. I already recognize this Andrew Yang. So what is it about Mel Gibson's name? That's funny. It's kind of like Jackson, Hit the Road Jack song, or Notorious G.I.B. son. What am I gonna say? Val. His name is Val, like Valerius is the middle name of Marshalis, surname, and then first name Marcus. Marcus Valerius Marshalis is who he's named after. First century AD Roman poet. That can be seen on one of my... my hair though. I don't know what to do at this point. what to do at this point. I'm just gonna end my video. Can I go to my playlist? I've had 5,000 videos maximum playlist for over a month or more, and I have multiple overflows of so many videos of a watch later playlist. I'll just go real quick to, I think it's Behind Enemy Lines. Debbie's gone forever because PlayStation 3, oh, that's unlisted video, I don't know what to say. Unlisted playlist. Here's Debbie, and she's my GTA character online on PlayStation 3 that is closed down forever. So they finally made this movie free, and it's generally speaking temporary. It was free, I think the last time I checked. This is a video I made in 2015, these videos. And here's random. I have to explain that GTA 4 took some of its, so much of its inspiration as far as Eastern Europe themes, Eastern European movies, Far Eastern culture, you know. I'm not going to get into it. The main character, Nico, he gets his name most likely from Boris Nikolaevich Yeltsin, former president of the Soviet Union and the Russian Federation. He has a great quote. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You can build a throne of bayonets, but you can't sit in it for long. It's like a joke, whatever. I think it's a great quote. That's a great song here. I can never remember what it is. Here's Dave, founder of Wendy's. So he says, "Hi, my name is Dave." That's the one edit that I made. I miss Dave Thomas. Soviet connection. Anyway, so there's a missile that I think it's not American made, because the missile that shoots down the jet and behind it enemy lines is called the GTA. It's called the GTA, and so Rockstar Games kind of like used that as like an infringement on their intellectual property. So they took tons of intellectual property from Behind Enemy Lines and put it in this. That's why it's Soviet connection. So anyways, there's the V, putting the V in Valerius. It says Fly US, but I severed it. So it says Vus or Ves right here. Like Vessel or Vespucci. I'm trying to think in particular, one of these videos, I did find it recently. It has my live reaction looking for Valerius, Marcus Martialis, Roman poet, and my reaction to actually reading his poems. I just said his poem, and I think it's this one. Here's the one I'm talking about. And if it's not that one, it's one in that series that I recorded back to back. All great stuff. Might be this one, I don't know. This one is one of the greatest on the list. Getting stacks of money, that's the entire theme. Getaway vehicle, the entire theme of that video. What was I saying? I quoted Marcus Martialis when I said, in my Max Payne, it's at the manor yard, and I said, the manner of death is more tragic and more sad than death itself. Like, that is a hard-hitting quote. I can't remember exactly when I said it, but it's in this video, I think. No, it's not in that video. It's in, I think that one up there. No, this one, most likely. No, not that one. It is this one, because it's House of Pain. Band. Did I really include all this? Let me go ahead and just end it with this.
Hello, here's a follow-up video to part 1 that I made a couple of hours ago.
What am I going to say? There's a new cat that lives in the house, and his 2 favorite toys were like a hair tie that's like a little circle, and there was 2 of them, and another was like a piece of a Christmas tree. And so I found a little snowman ornament, and I put it like that, and he would, I don't know, he was messing with it. And this was always one of my favorite songs of the 3rd millennium. Whatever. It's a great song, and I changed. So the official title of it, even though it doesn't sound like that, even on the clean version, it doesn't sound like that. Some songs, like even the clean version, it's like barely skirting FCC regulations, whatever it may be. It's called Hood Figure. I'm not gonna spell it. It's like Hood Figure, and it's supposed to be like a figure 8. And why? Why is this supposed to be a figure 8? Let me explain.
Here's a movie scene from 1990s movie, Jeff Daniels, Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber. This scene has a punchline in it. When Jeff Daniels takes the carrot and the pieces of coal, instead of making a face for the snowman, he puts it at his feet. And I just want to sort of explain how I ran into a similar scenario just now. The Democratic National Convention. And I'm just joking. If I'm just going to be 100%, keep it 100. So she has a funny predecessor, and I mentioned Christmas in Hollis in my last 2 vlogs. So Hollis, Queens is another thing that sort of relates to this. Like,
oh wow, I didn't even notice that it was a donkey.
The queen of the fireplace, Hollis, Queens, and that's the first.
I couldn't remember when I had said that, because I knew I had discovered what I thought was the meaning of King of Queens, the sitcom. That's the 7th sitcom that I've mentioned in this one video. It's a long video though, whatever. Vesta, she's the goddess of hearth. It's the foot of a fireplace. Anyways.
I'll go ahead and get to that. And so let me change it. Let me go to the camera and say it for the camera. I'm here at the tree because I'm a Patrino. I was looking for a snowman. I was like, where's the snowman? Anyways. Okay, so I'm going to reverse the camera. And the name of the song is Hood Figure. Sort of like figure. Like a figure 8. Like this sort of looks like the meta figure, the symbol of the sideways 8. So hating on me, David, as in it's a short form of will. Hating on me will make your situation worse.
I thought of another alternative to this quote. People who took an oath to the Constitution, federal agents, people who work for the federal government, bureaucrats, people who kept, given testimony under, stuff like that, people who work for the government. The Constitution is very important to them, but to regular citizens who never took an oath to the Constitution, is not very important to us. And so, if feds, change it in whatever it says in this song, hating on me will make your situation worse. You don't want to take a ride in a long black hearse. I'm looking down as I say that. If you're scared, go to church. That's for citizens, like regular humans, right, who have lost their humanity and citizenship, joining in with the government, and sort of sign their life away, deal with the contract, sign their life away, whatever it may be. Some musicians maybe do that. I don't know. It's a lore. It's like Lore. It's a lore, whatever. Fable. If it's not possible to go to church, if you're scared, read the Constitution. It's always worth it, whatever. It's just an alternative way to say that, that's from that song.
Like Fort Worth, where I live. You don't want to take a stand on a cold, hard hearth. It's the bricks of a fireplace. And I just wanted to say that before I show what the actual song is, and here's a music video. I'm trying to think of when this song's from. Probably a century from now, stuff's going to get confused. Even though this was released 10 years before 2016, the order that music videos are uploaded on YouTube is going to have a big effect. Like how it says this was up.
I ended this video abruptly because, whatever, I was alone when I started recording, and I wasn't by the time I ended it.
Back to the scene. Channel.
Did I not?
Christmas tradition is to make a face on worth. You don't want to take a stand on the cold, hard hurt.
I don't know what I said.
Sort of like figure century ago, eventually. Hopefully, if everything still stays the same. So, from 2007, I always wanted to have a rendition of this song. So here's what the actual song is. I'll just say what mine was one more time. Hating on me'll make a situation worth. You don't want to take a stand on the cold, hard hearth. Hood figure. Okay.
I'm the truth, and they say the truth hurts. Oh, because the meta symbol looks like an 8. It looks like a figure 8. And I'm just trying to. I just always have the microphone on this headset. I always try to keep it out of the way. I folded it. That's all. I can't believe I just talked for an hour. Okay, whatever. That's all. That's all. Well, did I finish the "Do I feel old yet" meme? I don't know. I guess I did. I don't feel old yet. I don't know. I don't think I do. That's all.